New York City, the Big Apple, a city that pulsates with energy, where dreams are born and ambitions are realized. It's a place where the lights never dim and the streets are always alive with activity, the city that never sleeps. From the bustling streets of Times Square to the serene paths of Central Park, New York City is a mosaic of experiences and opportunities, a global hub of finance, culture, and opportunity. Wall Street, the epicenter of the financial world, and Broadway, the heart of theatrical brilliance, both symbolize the city's diverse allure. Its iconic skyline, a beacon of ambition and dreams, draws millions from around the world. The Empire State Building, standing tall, is a testament to human ingenuity and aspiration. It's a city synonymous with success, a place where anything feels possible. Business people stride with purpose, and tourists capture memories, all under the same sky of endless possibilities. But beneath this glittering facade, a different reality unfolds. Amidst the towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, there exists a stark contrast that often goes unnoticed. A hidden crisis festers, one that casts a long shadow over the city's vibrant streets. Homeless encampments and makeshift shelters are a somber reminder of the city's unfulfilled promises. This is the story of homelessness in New York City, a stark reminder that even in the land of opportunity, not all dreams are realized. For many, the city of dreams has become a place of survival. The sheer scale of the problem is staggering. Thousands of individuals, each with their own story, find themselves without a place to call home. While tourists marvel at Times Square's dazzling lights just blocks away, thousands struggle to survive, seeking refuge in shelters or on the cold, unforgiving streets. The contrast is jarring, a tale of two cities within one. Families huddled together for warmth, their belongings crammed into shopping carts. Children who should be dreaming of bright futures are instead faced with the harsh realities of homelessness. Individuals, their faces etched with hardship, hold out paper cups, hoping for a spare dollar or a kind word. Each face tells a story of resilience and struggle. This essay delves into the heart of New York City's homelessness crisis. It seeks to uncover the layers of this complex issue, to understand the human stories behind the statistics. We'll examine the factors contributing to its growth, the human toll it takes, and the efforts underway to address this complex issue. Social workers and volunteers are on the front lines offering support and hope. We'll hear directly from those living through this crisis, the community leaders working tirelessly to help and explore potential solutions to break the cycle of homelessness. Their voices are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. This is a call to action, a plea for empathy and understanding, and a reminder that behind the statistics are real people, each with their own story, their own hopes, and their own inherent dignity. Together, we can make a difference, one step at a time. The numbers are stark and deeply troubling. In a city of over 8 million people, over 350,000 experience homelessness each year. This staggering figure represents a human tragedy of immense proportions, a stark reminder that amidst the city's wealth and prosperity, a significant portion of its population struggles to survive. These are not just numbers on a page. They represent individuals, families, and children denied the basic human right to safe and stable housing. The reasons behind these alarming statistics are complex and multifaceted. A severe shortage of affordable housing, coupled with stagnant wages and rising living costs, creates a perfect storm for homelessness. Many New Yorkers find themselves just one paycheck away from losing their homes, vulnerable to unexpected medical bills, job losses, or rent increases. The COVID-19 pandemic further exacerbated the crisis, pushing already struggling individuals and families over the edge. But the issue of homelessness goes beyond simply lacking a roof over one's head. It's about the loss of dignity, the constant fear and uncertainty, and the feeling of being invisible in a city that prides itself on its diversity and vibrancy. These individuals, often overlooked and forgotten, are our neighbors, our fellow citizens, and their stories deserve to be heard. The face of homelessness in New York City is not uniform. It is a multifaceted issue that affects individuals from all walks of life, cutting across age, race, and gender. Each person has a unique story, a unique struggle, and a unique set of circumstances that led them to this point. It manifests differently across the city's 5 boroughs, each with its unique demographics, challenges, and resources. From the bustling streets of Manhattan to the quieter corners of Staten Island, the experience of homelessness can vary dramatically. In Manhattan, the epicenter of wealth and tourism, homeless individuals are a constant presence, seeking shelter in subway stations, doorways, and public parks. The visibility of homelessness here is stark, with people often seen sleeping on benches or huddled in corners, trying to find some semblance of safety and warmth. The stark contrast between the city's opulence and the plight of those living on its margins is a jarring reminder of the deep economic disparities that exist. Luxury high-rises stand tall next to makeshift encampments, highlighting the city's struggle to address this growing crisis. Brooklyn, with its rapidly gentrifying neighborhoods, faces a different set of challenges. As new developments spring up, long-time residents find themselves increasingly squeezed out, unable to keep up with the rising cost of living. As rents skyrocket, long-time residents, many of whom are elderly or living on fixed incomes, are being priced out of their homes, forced onto the streets or into overcrowded shelters. The sense of community that once defined these neighborhoods is slowly eroding, replaced by uncertainty and fear. Staten Island, often considered the city's forgotten borough, grapples with a lack of affordable housing and limited access to support services, leaving its homeless population particularly vulnerable. The isolation of the borough exacerbates these issues, making it harder for those in need to find help. The Bronx, home to some of the city's poorest neighborhoods, has long struggled with high rates of poverty and homelessness. The economic challenges here are deeply entrenched, with many families living paycheck to paycheck, one crisis away from losing their homes. Families with children make up a disproportionately large percentage of the homeless population here, highlighting the urgent need for family-friendly shelters and affordable housing options. The impact on children is particularly devastating, affecting their education, health, and overall well-being. Queens, the city's most ethnically diverse borough, sees a growing number of immigrant families experiencing homelessness, often facing language barriers and discrimination as they navigate the already complex system. The cultural richness of Queens is both a strength and a challenge as service providers work to meet the diverse needs of its residents. Behind the statistics are real people with real stories. These are not just numbers on a page or faceless figures in a report. They are individuals with dreams, aspirations, and a desire for a better life. Each person you see on the street has a unique journey that led them to this point, a series of events that could happen to any of us, stories of hardship, resilience, and the will to survive. These are tales of people who, despite facing unimaginable challenges, continue to fight for their dignity and a chance to rebuild their lives. They are stories that highlight the strength of the human spirit and the power of community. Take, for example, Sarah, a single mother of 2 young children, who found herself homeless after losing her job as a waitress during the pandemic. The sudden loss of income was devastating, and without a safety net, Sarah quickly found herself unable to pay rent. Unable to afford rent, she and her children were forced to sleep in their car for weeks, relying on the kindness of strangers for food and basic necessities. Each night was a struggle filled with uncertainty and fear. Sarah worried constantly about the safety and well-being of her children. "It was the most terrifying experience of my life," Sarah recalls, her voice cracking with emotion. The sense of helplessness was overwhelming, and the constant stress took a toll on her mental and physical health. "I felt like a failure, unable to provide for my children." The guilt and shame were unbearable, but Sarah's story is also one of hope and resilience. With the help of local charities and community support, she was eventually able to find temporary housing and start rebuilding her life. Then there's Michael, a veteran who served in Afghanistan, struggling with PTSD and addiction. His return to civilian life was fraught with challenges, and the lack of adequate support made it difficult for him to reintegrate. After returning home, Michael found himself unable to hold down a job or maintain stable housing. The trauma of war haunted him, and without proper mental health care, he turned to substances to cope. He spent years living on the streets, battling his demons and feeling abandoned by the very country he risked his life to defend. Each day was a struggle for survival, and the sense of isolation was profound. "I served my country, but now it feels like my country has forgotten about me," Michael says, his voice filled with a mix of anger and resignation. His story is a stark reminder of the gaps in our support systems for veterans. These are just two of the countless stories that illustrate the human toll of homelessness in New York City. Each story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the urgent need for comprehensive solutions. Stories of individuals and families stripped of their dignity, their hopes and their dreams. Yet within these stories there is also a glimmer of hope, a reminder that with the right support, people can rebuild their lives. Stories that remind us that behind the statistics are real people, each deserving of compassion, support, and a chance to rebuild their lives. It is a call to action for all of us to do our part in addressing this crisis and supporting those in need.